Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the other thing with you as well, which I mean, even from this conversation, the whole launching and seeing who takes you up on something or launching and not having written things, or there's just definitely an air of you just want to give it a go. And I think a lot of people that holds them back. It's like, if it's not perfect, if I haven't built it, if it's not ready to go, then I can't put anything out there. I've
Yeah.
seen people like even in like B school or other places kind of go, I poured my heart and soul into this over an entire summer and wrote this course and didn't get a single sale. And I think that, that can be a really heartbreaking thing. So sometimes it's not always about having it perfect. It's about kind of giving
Yeah.
it a go.
Yeah, it's about getting it out there. I've had even a few of my clients who have, put a program out there and, they didn't make any sales. And then when we start just talking more, a lot of times it's because they weren't listening to their audience or they weren't connecting with enough of their audience first, and I'm like, why did you take 3 months putting something together that your people didn't want? It wasn't something that was a real want and a real need for them. And there's a difference between something people need. A lot of people think, well, people need this, so they're going to buy it. It's not the case. People only buy what they want. Okay, I don't need an iPhone 6, but I want an iPhone 6,
Yeah.
so I buy one. And last week, my iPhone 6 broke. And guess what? I bought another one immediately
Yeah.
because I want it. Yeah, I don't need one. I don't need to spend the money on one,
Yeah.
but I want it.
Yeah.
And that's just how people are. And I remember reading someone's story where they were like on like a missions trip in like Africa or something, helping give these, kids water and food and building them a school and all this stuff. And there was kids with like iPads. They're like, where the heck did this kid get an iPad and he's playing games on it? That kid did whatever the heck it took to get that freaking iPad,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
people will get what they want.
Yeah.
They're gonna go for their wants over their needs. No clue why, but it
Yeah.
seems it's just how humans are. And you have to really connect with your audience. And that's why I tell a lot of people, if you're brave enough to get on webinars, that's the best place to be able to understand your audience.
Yeah.
Because if you open up for Q&A at the end and the people are asking you questions, those questions are the things that they want to learn more about.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people, like say I'd be doing a webinar on like email marketing, but then someone is asking me about Facebook ads, and I'm like, that is not exactly correlated to this topic. I will still answer your question, but you can find out things about them, and that's another benefit of growing a Facebook group.
Yeah.
It's a place where you can really find out what people really want. And I had one of my clients, she wanted to do a launch, but she didn't have like a lot of money. She's just like, all I want, she's like, all I really need is like 10 clients in a month. If I can get 10 clients, she's like, I can pay all my bills and I will feel happy, right? So she's just like, that's all I needed. Well, I recommended her to start a Facebook group and just be a support group for people.
Yeah.
Every day, make a quick little video, post it in there, really help people, really connect with them. And at the end of the 6 weeks, she had like 20 people who hired her. And it was because she was able to connect with them and figure out what they really wanted. If you're not connecting with people, you don't know what they want.
Yeah.
And I really highly recommend people getting on the phone with a person. A lot of people, they'll make like one of those little surveys and then just like post it all over the place. Most people don't even take the time to fill out those surveys, for one. But if you can just be like, hey, I need to find one person who fits all of this criteria. Would you please get on the phone with me or on Skype with me? And just ask them lots of questions about what their needs are, what they want. What is their dream perfect course on whatever topic it is that you are the best at. What they're like, what would that course be like? What would be the dream? What would be the outcome you really want? And then create that.
Yeah.
And then when you do your launch, it's going to be easy for people to make their decision because guess what? It was exactly what they wanted. And that's exactly what happened with me with my Be True Brand You program. people really wanted to learn the technical know-how of a lot of things. They wanted to know how to put a course together. They wanted to know how to do webinars. They wanted to know, you
Yeah.
know, what branding was. A lot of people didn't even know what it was, but they wanted to have a strong brand. They knew they needed to have some authority online.
Yeah.
They wanted that. And I was able to see that from working with them as one-on-one clients and from all the questions I got inside of my Freedom Hackers group and the questions I got on webinars when I opened up for Q&A.
Yeah.
So I think that connection is what made my launches, I guess, go easy compared to what other people would think.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, it was just, I was constantly connecting, and I still am constantly connecting all the time,
Yeah.
all the time.
Yeah, and I mean, I know that, so you've recently just started your Ask Kimra video series as well. I saw the other one the other day. It looked really great. Love your set. Very you, very you. And you know, the question was around building that community and really getting engagement, etc. And there were some really great tips there as well. I guess the other thing is that people do look at it and go, well, maybe I should start a closed group instead of a fan page. A closed group just gets more interaction and engagement and conversation. Can you just talk a little bit about, I guess, why you decided to do the closed group and the amount of work it takes? Because I think people go, yeah, I'm going to do that, but you did talk about how much effort and time it actually takes to build that.
Yeah, it does take a lot of time to build a group.
Yeah,
And that's why I say it's definitely not for everybody
yeah,
because it does take that time. It's going to take time out of your day pretty much every day. You know, it's not like you're just like, oh, I'm only in there on Mondays. No, that does not happen because if people are in your group and they're asking you a question and then you don't answer them for 3 or 4 days, they've lost trust.
mm,
So that's why when, if someone asks, like, should I do a group? And I say, well, how often are you going to be in the group? That's the important thing. I've even seen people who have done paid courses, which I've actually bought, and they have a group, like they call it their support group that
yeah,
goes with their course, and then they're never in there.
yeah,
I'm like, why the hell do you have this group and you're not
yeah,
even in here? Like, the point of you having this group is to be a support group. You're not supporting anybody because you're not in here, right? So it does take time and effort. So you have to decide if that is going to be something you really, really want to do. I definitely spend at least a minimum of an hour every single day, sometimes 3 or 4 hours in a day in my group.
wow.
So, and I also have my Be True Brand New group too, and I spend a lot of time in there as well.
Yeah.
So
And I think
I
it's that
spend a lot
balance
of
as
time.
well. Like if you've
Mhm.
got, so I've got my online course, I've got my group, and we interact a lot, and that's great. And then it's kind of like, oh, okay, is there enough time to kind of have all of these different things going on and really serve them in the best way?
Yeah. Yeah, you have to really make the decision. I mean, I know there's some brands, they have no intention of ever having a Facebook group. And to me, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
As long as you're giving a lot of that value through your email marketing, through your videos, through any webinars or any other sorts of ways you give value to your audience, even your Instagram, however you're giving value to your audience, keep doing that. You
Yeah.
just want to have a place where you are giving consistent value. When it comes to a Facebook business page, I use ads because ads work freaking amazing. I spent from May to like December of last year because I had to do my taxes, right?
Yeah.
So from May to December, I spent like $5,000 on Facebook
Yeah.
ads, and I made $160,000.
Mm.
So the Facebook ads is what I use to really grow my email list, to promote all my webinars, which of course is another way of growing my email list,
Yeah.
and to expose myself into the world. I heard one person before, I can't even remember who the trainer was, but they said Facebook ads can literally buy online fame.
Yeah.
Yeah, it literally can.
Yeah.
Luckily for me, I was very smart from the very beginning, and I did a lot of split testing, so I was able to know, where my kind of people were
Yeah.
online, and that really, really, really helped. So, but for me, they've been tremendous. And if you don't have a Facebook business page, you can't do Facebook ads.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people who are just like, oh, well, I'll just do a group. There's more engagement. Well, the thing is, because I do Facebook ads, my regular just post on my business page get way higher engagement and like way higher reach organically because Facebook rewards you if you are a person putting out good content.
Yeah.
They want people who are putting good content on your page. If your page is just like a spam fest and all you're doing is telling people to buy your crap, then yeah, Facebook doesn't care about you. Facebook's like, whatever, I'm going to show your thing to like 5% of the people who follow you. They don't even care about you. But if you are actually using it as a marketing tool, then yes, have a business page. It really builds up a lot of credibility. Like I have like ads, which those aren't even to get people on my list. I just have those going out all over to multiple pages because I want people to see my face.
Yeah.
When people start getting comfortable with you, they start getting the know, like, and trust factor, or whatever people call it. Like they start to know, like, and trust you just from seeing you repetitively in their Facebook news feed. And they see it on their phone. They see you when they're on their computer. And that really starts building up your reputation. And I think that, some people, they don't think about that sort of stuff. Like even right now, I'm trying out this tactic, which some people have told me I'm a genius for even thinking of it. So I've had these ads that I have been putting out into the world. And some of the pages that I've been targeting are people who I know are my ideal customers, but the ads have been pretty expensive. Well, I figure if I place a like ad to those pages, I'll get some more likes from those people, and then I could target them through my regular page. But also, I could get some more of that know, like, and trust factor thing on those pages as well. So then when I start running my next campaigns, then I can, possibly get ads for cheaper amounts of cheaper per conversion, and some people are just like, I never thought of that. And I'm just like, I think it's smart because it's like if I'm targeting someone's page and those people have never seen my face before, they're like, who the hell is this weird chick with the blue hair? And actually I had someone comment on one of my ads before, like talking crap about my hair or something, and I just told them to piss off. But I was just like, yeah, piss off. But anyways, like they haven't seen me. They don't know who I am. They have no trust. They don't know me. So I figure if I place some, just the like ads to those pages, eventually later down the line when I am promoting a webinar or I am promoting something, more of those people will want to click on my ad.
Yeah.
So,
fantastic.
At least that's my theory.
Well, you'll have to definitely let us know how that goes. I just think
yes, I'm testing it out right now.
When it comes to Facebook ads, I think because you've been so into it. You know what I would love to see? I would love to see all of your split testing results and things like that. If that's not showing too much at some point, that would just be really. Because I think a lot of people don't. It's the whole. How much do I split test? How much do I spend doing that? Like, what can the results look like? What does good look like? That sort of thing. I think that's sort of where I am at the moment.
Well, it's funny because with a lot of my split testing, I never change the copy or the graphic. I just change the page I target. Okay. I really don't
do one page at a time, don't you?
Yeah, I do one page per ad. And like right now, I have like a campaign going and that has like 25 different places that I'm targeting. Because, hey, I got to see if some of these pages work for me, right? Yeah. But yeah, so I just do one page per ad. And actually several other people who have done very well on Facebook ads, now a lot of them, they're using that same strategy that I'm using. They're like, I learned that from you. I'm just like, oh, yeah, like you're like a multimillionaire. That's cool. They want cheaper leads, right? They want cheaper leads too. They're not trying to waste money and throw it down the drain. Yeah. So, they're just like, hey, anything to test out to get cheaper leads, right? Yeah. So it's been, Facebook ads are definitely they're its own beast, but I started using them from the beginning, and so that's what's made me be able to do so well with them. I wasn't afraid of them. I was just like, that's it. I'm just diving in. I'm just going to do them. I have a friend he's actually a family friend I've known for 8 years, and he's a multimillionaire with via Facebook ads.
Wow.
And I mean, he doesn't even brand himself. He just sells like other weird products and stuff, and he makes tons of money. And so I asked him, I said, well, how do you post them? Like, because I had never bought Facebook's training. Like, I never bought any training. I just asked him one time, like, hey, show me like how you post them. And so he got on Skype with me and he showed me how to post them. And I was like, all right, cool, I'm good. Like, seriously, like just 10 minutes of him just showing me like how to post it. And so I started doing it and I had good results. Like, any ads that were doing bad, I just turned them off. And the ones that were doing good, I increased the budget on them and just kept them going. And it's worked for me ever since.
Yeah, and I
So.
think just testing is just, you just kind of got to go and give it a go and see what happens and just go with whatever's working. It's the
Exactly. And
lesson.
I saw a person like the other day, they had posted like, I made like a six-figure year and I didn't do any Facebook ads at all. And I'm thinking in my head, well, if you would have done Facebook ads, you would have made like four times as much. But okay, go ahead and brag about that. Like
Yeah,
like to me
yeah,
it's not a brag. I'm like,
yeah,
that's not bragging.
yeah,
To me, I'm just like, so you're not utilizing this amazing tool? Like
yeah.
that's what I'm thinking in my head. I'm just like,
You
so
could have
what if you made
quadrupled
six
that.
figures? You could have made $400,000 instead of just 100,000. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, that's what I think in my head. But
yeah,
I guess some people don't think the way I do. They
no,
think, oh, I didn't have to do this technical strategy. I'm like, dude, it's not that technical once you know how to do it.
yeah,
Once you know how to do it, it's just like boom, 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 easy, easy, easy. So so yeah, in my head, I'm like, dude, you could have made like four times that much. But all right, like brag about not using Facebook ads. So yeah,
yeah.
so, I mean, it just cracked
Different,
me up
different
because I'm just
strokes for
like,
different folks.
I know, but it's to me in my head, I'm just like, dude, like I made so much money with Facebook ads. Like, why would you not want to use them? Like, I don't understand. So yeah,
I
I
think
don't
people are
know. It was
scared of
just
what they
cracking me up.
don't
My
know,
husband's like,
though.
seriously, someone's bragging about that. They're
Yeah,
like, he's like, yeah, they need to get in on that ads action because they'd
yeah.
be making a lot more money. So,
Oh,
so yeah.
very good, very good. And so so is there anything else you're going to do this year that you kind of think that is going to really help me get to my goal?
Well, definitely doing like my really awesome video
Videos.
set.
Yeah,
I really wanted to elevate my brand a lot this year. I really believe that people should be growing, like
yeah.
not just staying stagnant. And I do have a professional video being made that is coming out soon. I was,
Exciting.
interviewed and I had a big event at my house on Saturday.
I saw the
So
picture, the mastermind.
yeah, we had over 50 women show up. Okay, so like almost like 40 something RSVP'd, right? So I was like, okay, probably about half will show up,
Yeah.
right? Because a lot of these people they're driving for like 2 hours or longer. There was one woman who drove all the way from San Francisco. It was like 8 hour drive to like come to my house. I'm like, are you kidding? Like this is craziness. So anyways, so all these people were coming and it's like, oh, maybe like half of them will show
Yeah.
up. No, more of them showed up. Like they were bringing all their friends, like all this stuff. I was like, what is going on? It's so chaotic. I was like, I'm so glad I bought enough cupcakes because man,
Oh,
like,
I saw like all your theatre row seating on Instagram or it was on your Facebook page. I was like,
yeah, and
wow, that looks
we couldn't even
awesome.
fit everybody in the living room. Like we had to like people were like lined up the stairs, like standing in the back. It was chaos, but it was awesome. I
That's
loved it, and
amazing.
everybody really loved it.
Yeah.
Everybody got a lot of benefit out of it. There was so much wonderful networking. And so anyways, I had a videographer and a photographer that was here that day. So I am doing some more stuff with my brand visually, I guess you can say, this year because I really wanted to have a really cool videos this year, and I wanted to start my Ask Kimra series so that I can give more value to my
Yeah.
audience.
Yeah.
Because I get a lot of those videos done. I mean, like after I have like 100 Ask Kimra videos, it's going to be pretty easy for someone like in the group to ask a question and be like, oh, there's a video on that. And then just give them a link,
Yeah.
like, oh, I already covered that topic. Here it is, and
Yeah.
so they'll be like, wow, this chick knows what's up, she already answered my question before I even arrived here.
Yeah.
So I think that that'll be really nice to be able to answer people's questions really quick
Yeah.
with just hopping in a video.
Yeah.
I think that'll be really fun. I do really plan on getting on a lot of podcasts this year because like like this I do enjoy being interviewed. I really like to share my story because I want people to know that it doesn't have to take them like
Yeah,
5 years to have success. You can have success quickly. I retired my husband in 6 weeks. Like
man.
people can do it.
Yeah,
It's just, to me, I think people in this industry tell people all the time, like, it takes all this time, you got to build up all this stuff. I'm like, you could build authority from day one. If you really know your stuff
yeah,
and you can show it, boom, you're in, like you got that authority. And using webinars was the fastest way for me to build that.
yeah.
I mean, I look like a teenager, like, so for me, building authority was really important for my brand
Yeah.
because I do look so young. Most people are just like, you're pregnant? You're married? You already have 2 kids? Like, they're literally like in shock. They're like, I thought you were like 18, And I'm just like, I
You'll be
know.
grateful for that one day.
I know, I will. But yeah, in business, people are just like, you look so young. Like, how could you know all of this stuff? But I'm a lot older than I look. And I will probably still have blue hair even when I'm like 80 years old. So I told my husband, I was
It'll
like,
just
if
be
my
that
hair goes,
rinse.
I told him I'd be happy when my hair goes white because it'll be easier to color, you know?
Always looking
So,
at the positive.
I know.
Awesome. That's so good. And Kimra, my last thing is mastermind. How have you put people around you to support you in growing your business? How have you kind of done that in an active way?
Yeah, I do have one really solid mastermind buddy. Her name is Audria Richmond, and she's also a branding
Oh, yes,
coach
I know her.
consultant
Yep.
as well. And it's kind of funny because people would think like we would be like competitive against each other, but we're not. We're like really, really supportive of each other,
Yeah.
and we're kind of at the same place, just mentally, and a lot of our beliefs are the same. So we just kind of meshed. Because I've been looking for a mastermind buddy, but it was hard for me because most of the people that wanted to like kind of be in a mastermind with me like weren't at the same level of business as I was. And so it was kind of like it would just be me coaching them,
Yeah.
not really a mastermind. And I really believe that a mastermind needs to benefit
Both.
both ways equally, and or even if it's a group mastermind, like everybody's benefiting equally. And yeah, so she had just messaged me one day, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh, she was like, who do you mastermind with? I said, I don't got any mastermind buddy. I've been looking though, like we should be buddies, right? So we decided to be buddies. I do have a few like mentors. James Wedmore is one of my
Yeah.
mentors. I do talk with him pretty closely. I did go to one of his paid masterminds, and he really helps me if there's like a few things I'm just kind of can't get my head around or something. I'll just like text him and be like, help me, like. So he's been one of my close mentors, and I reached out to him after my first launch because I was like, man, I need to start connecting with some like cool peeps, right? And he had really helped me through my launch, even though I hadn't been directly talking to him. He had this bonus video that came with one of his courses, and it was all about his launch. And I listened to it and I applied everything I could. I couldn't apply everything because I couldn't really do like the video things and stuff because I had just found out I was pregnant and I was like nauseous and like,
Yeah.
yeah, it was no good. So I couldn't apply everything for that launch, but I was able to apply just about every single thing that he said, things that he had done. Was able to add things like on the fly. I mean, that launch was like literally just figure it out as I go along launch.
Yeah.
Like like there was no real strategy to it. I didn't learn anything from like launch experts or anything like
Yeah.
that. I just was kind of like, webinars work. People tend to like it. I'll just keep doing a crap ton of those, right? They work.
Yeah.
So I had learned some strategies from him through that training that he had done. And so after my launch, the doors closed, I Facebook messaged him and was like, hey, I made $62,000 on my first launch and all this stuff like that. And he's like, your first launch? I said, yeah, I've only been in business for like 3 months. He's like, what? And he was like, you need to get on Skype with me right now. So I got on Skype with him. And that's how our relationship kind of started.
Amazing.
but he was a person I really looked up to. I still do have a lot of other people who I consider as my mentors who don't even know they're my mentors. I mean, Pat Flynn is definitely one of them, and John Lee Dumas is another one. I've pretty much listened to like every single one of like their podcasts
Yeah.
and like been, Pat Flynn was really probably my biggest inspiration from the very beginning. When I had first joined my network marketing company, I had searched things, just about, passive income. I was searching passive income, and then of course his website's like the first one that pops
Yeah.
up, right? So I was looking, I was like, monthly report, like what's that? And clicked on that and I was like, man, look at this guy. Like telling my husband, like, come over here, check this guy out, man. Like he shows like how much he makes on like
Yeah.
all his affiliates and all this stuff. And I was like, man, like I want to be like this, like this is
Yeah.
awesome. And I mean, I went back like all the way to the beginning, when he was only making like 4,000 a month or something, and I'm just like, man, this guy's came a long way, like, so I was like really, really into that. And I really like affiliate marketing and like passive income. Like last year, I made probably like $15,000 in affiliates, just from things, like webinar platforms and promoting other people's, $100 courses. And, like I made like pretty good money on affiliates, and most of it was like without even really trying that hard, like it was just my audience was growing so fast. They were just like, yeah, Kimra uses that tool, I use it, type of thing. So I really wanted to become an affiliate marketer, and there's not a lot of females like in the game of like affiliate marketing. Like it seems like a lot of them don't really they don't want to be at that level, like how John Lee Dumas is and how Pat Flynn is. It's like none of them seem to be really going for that. And I'm just like, oh, I don't know, I might end up being those like affiliate marketers. Well, I seem to be pretty good at it. Lately I've been doing an affiliate for Easy Webinar, because that's the webinar platform I use. And I was on top of the leaderboard, and I was actually beating out John Lee Dumas.
I love that there's a leaderboard.
Yeah, so I was like, because they had like a little they have like a contest, and like you could win like a trip to like Fiji or something. I'm just like, hell yeah.
Okay, I'm onto that one. I'm onto it.
Yeah, like I couldn't believe I made it to the top of the leaderboard. I was like, I got to the top of the leaderboard, and Casey Zeman, I've been in communication with him a lot too, and he's like, oh yeah, I got to the top of the leaderboard. I was like, how the heck did that happen? Like I didn't even realize it happened.
That's your community. That's how that happened.
They just like to buy, when I recommend something, they trust. And it's because I built that authority with them. I give them so much value all the time. They trust what I recommend to them. And one time I had bought like a pen, like a stylus for my iPad, and everybody kept asking me what brand it was that I ordered, and I said I haven't even used it yet. And they're like asking me like, which one is it? I'm just like, I haven't used it yet. I can't tell you the link because you're all gonna go buy it, and then if it sucks, then it's my fault. Like, So I was just like, I'm not gonna tell you.
Be careful what you recommend.
I know, really. I have to like watch what I recommend. Like I had posted like a thing on my Facebook wall for like my, like the stretch mark cream for my belly, and like 20 of my friends were like, oh my gosh, I bought that. I'm like, you're not even pregnant. Like, why did you buy that? Oh, I needed it on my thighs. Oh, okay. Like, I'm like, this is for pregnant women,
The brands are gonna come and knocking, and you're gonna be like the next face on TV, spruiking something.
It's just, I mean, it makes me just feel sometimes like I'm like, am I like Justin Bieber or something? Like
in the Facebook online world, you are Justin Bieber.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Sometimes I'm like, I just don't know how to handle it sometimes. But I'm just like, whatevs,
Just go with the flow.
Well, people ask me, oh, what hair dye do you use? I've already had like eight people have like bought the hair dye that I use. Like,
what exact color? What was the number? I saw the feed.
Well, and people they'll ask me the font I use, and I tell them I will not tell you the font I use. I was like, some things I have to keep secret, like, because if I tell you the font I use, then everybody's gonna freaking be using that font, and I don't want everybody's stuff to look like mine, because then I'm gonna have to change my font. It took me like 4 hours to find that font. I'm not telling you. someone asked me like what like my graffiti backdrop was. I was like, just Google it. I'm not telling you where I got it because then you're gonna say backdrop is me. Like,
Yeah, and I
people
mean
ask me
yours.
like, where'd you get this one? I'm just like, I'm not telling you. You know?
Yeah, because your set is very like it's unique and it's original. It's very you. Unlike, I mean, I love it. I totally, it's amazing. But I just
Yeah,
it
this is
hit
just my other backdrop. I have
different.
I put this one on a different wall, so when I'm like interviewed like this, I
Yeah,
can do stuff. And then, but yeah, I have my whole set over there. I changed the whole master bedroom into like a video room.
studio.
There's just like softbox lights everywhere, and like my younger son, he's all like, trying to plug everything in, and it's like we're getting all techie in this house.
It's awesome and it's a great place to be.
Yes,
Very good.
it's
Well, listen, thank you so much for your time today. It's been so fun just hearing about what you're doing. Do you want to just give a quick overview of Be True Brand You?
Yes, Be True Brand You is my signature program, and I teach everything in there from branding basics, like the stuff newbies got to know, to email marketing, to building communities, to, of course, Facebook ads, because we love Facebook ads, how to host and make sales on webinars. I teach how to put a course and program together, teach launching, teach other social media tactics. Basically, I really wanted it to be a one-stop shop type of
Yeah.
program so that all of the course junkies out there, and you know who you are, can just buy one more course and they won't need to buy a ton of other ones
Yeah.
again. I really wanted it to be something like that, and it's an ever-growing program. I do more trainings, and I really listen to the people in the
Yeah.
community with new stuff that they want. I'm bringing in a lot of guest experts this year, and if you want to learn more about it, it's at betruebrandyou.com. And if you get in before the doors open, there's an early bird special,
Yeah.
so you will get a discount if you sign up for the wait list. And I have lots and lots of people on the wait list, so
It's
I'm
amazing.
yes, I'm hoping some of you guys will whip up some of those spots in the program because I am going to have some special stuff just for the early birds, special training just for early birds. So yeah, that's all about
Fantastic.
it.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, your community is amazing. So go and join Kimra's email list, and then you can go join Freedom Hackers on Facebook. It's just, I constantly learn. I've connected with people. It's just been awesome. So thank you, and thanks for your time today. And we
You're
will see
very
you guys,
welcome.
and we will see you guys very soon.